Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Summer is here, and it's time for Acres postseason planter parts sale. Save big on all in-stock John Deere planter parts. Get an automatic 10% off on your purchase, or get 15% off when you spend $5,000 or more. Buy over $10,000 and get a whopping 20% off. Visit your local Acres location today and stock up on planter parts and save thousands. Hurry, this sale ends July 31st or while supplies last. Acres, solutions for every field.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Monday. Happy post July the 4th. Fireworks holiday extraordinaire. But this is Old School, Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Today, we are live in effect from 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese. Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 168th up there in 168th and Maple in the Metro. Lot going on this weekend, you know, with 4th of July weekend. And we obviously had some explosive news with Huskers and had some recruiting news. We made the Final Four. Mr. Sanders, the offensive tackle from one of my hometowns of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to dive into that. We had a big announcement that the university has named 1890 their main collective or their only collective, which, we'll get into what that means, what took so long, and how that can help potentially help. Well, obviously 1890 grow, but the NIL package or I guess incentives, to recruit, or for the incentives for recruits to come in the future. And could it be something the time of a sign of the times? Because obviously we saw that some collectives might go in house, but this seems like it's a partnership. I don't know all the details. Since you, Austin, what NFL owners paid for teams, and man, the owner that got the team is going to be crazy. We're going to light up the text. We're going to want the text line to send in their teams, and we're going to let you know what your owner bought the team for. I will tell you, there is a owner that got the team for nothing, zilch,
free.
Thank you.
Hand it over.
Yeah. Thanks for doing business. And then we'll talk. They came out with the top revenue generating football programs, and we're going to ask the text line, and obviously me and Austin are going to get into it, whether that should be a direct correlation into where you end up being ranked at the end of the year, right? So a lot of people say, if you take the 4 years of your recruiting classes, or 5, or whatever you want to call it, that's where, if you say your average is 15, right, over 4 or 5 years, then that's where you should be at the bottom end. And then obviously if those recruits develop and you're able to have retention at a pretty high rate, and you hit on those evaluations, you should be a little bit higher. So a lot to dive into after 4th of July. Then get and also
saw some fireworks up at Omaha.
Yeah,
out of Foreman 16U.
Yeah, representing. They're representing a little bit. Some good basketball up there in the the tournament, and so it was good to see some good players. And Chris Carr, who is a friend of mine, has a basketball program. And then so you got to see them. We got to see Team Factory from Minnesota, which is from Maple Grove, which was, I always tell the story about Sam Jacobson. That's where he's from, which was essentially like a carny. We would view it as a carny. It wasn't a very, it was a rural city or town or whatever you call it. Now it's one of the up and coming, or one of the top places to live, and all that other stuff. So they made the trek down. So a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Obviously, always in the state of Nebraska. It is officially, like me and Harrison talked about yesterday, on Inside the Huddle. Be sure to always download and like and all support that as well every Sunday at 11. It is football time. There is no turning back now.
Like you said, July, you start feeling it, right?
Yeah, but after July 4th, it is the time goes by quicker. The days will go by quicker. You have to start to change your mentality. Social time has to be at a minimum. You have to get ready for this long haul of a season that you put, hopefully, your blood, sweat, and tears into training to be in your best form going into this season. And whatever team does it at a higher percentage, that means if you have 100 players and you do it at a 90%, 90% of the guys do it on a 90% basis, day in and day out. Generally, it correlates to what your wins and losses.
What did July look like for you in college and pros?
Well, we were here training, and it was a lot different. Obviously, we were taking summer school training, and we had like little odd jobs that we were allowed to do. So it's a lot different. That we didn't have any NIL, and we didn't have any online classes and stuff like that. So, we worked our tails off all the way up until 2 or 3 days before we reported. I felt like we did, or at least I did.
Is report Monday or is report Saturday?
For us?
Yeah.
We reported, I think, on a Sunday, in college.
Gotcha.
Depends on when we had the game. We played 1 year down in Stillwater against Oklahoma State. So I think it was, you generally go a month out.
Gotcha.
and then something where we had a regular game. We played in the kickoff classic and stuff like that. So
How hot was it?
Africa, I would say, is Africa hot. It was hot. It was hot. I did. What's funny? I didn't know it got this hot in Nebraska. I just didn't know.
Here's the Minnesota cool.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, I'll be honest. I came to Nebraska not knowing tiddly poo about the state or anything. I came to Nebraska and I just told the story. I was just at the Team Jack event. Big shout out to Team Jack and the foundation, doing great things for childhood cancer and raising funds and awareness for it. It obviously was great. It was out at Wilderness Ridge, but I was with some guys and they were asking me about it. I said, look, man, I grew up in a Miami household. And one of the gentlemen that I played with, his daughter went to Miami. I was like, everybody in my family went to Miami besides me. And so I grew up in a Miami household. So, Nebraska burst on the scene and had that really good year, or great year. I mean, I don't want to minimize it. Where they, obviously, unfortunately got the shaft against Florida State. But I didn't know anything about Omaha. I didn't know anything about Lincoln. To be honest with you, after the recruiting trip, one of the things, my best friend Jamal, he asked me how it was, and I was like, man, they actually got some brothers down in Nebraska. Because I went to a house party, and I was like, there was brothers there that weren't like football players. So I didn't know anything about Lincoln. I didn't know anything about Omaha. I didn't know anything about Carn. I didn't know anything. So I'm not going to sit here in front like I knew it was hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It gets hot in Minnesota, but it's humid and hot. I came down here in them first 2 days, man, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I said, we in the middle of the cornfields. My dad called me one time. I said, Dad, yo, it's so hot. My jersey is hot. Even like, when you pour like cold water down your neck, I was like, this is the hottest I ever been. Because you just be out there and there would be no wind.
Right.
And I'm sure T.O. wanted it. Like no wind. You just out there, 2.5, 3 hour practice. But I mean, as I got here and I got invested into the program and started to meet some of the, the walk-ons or guys from Nebraska, man, I started to really appreciate it. One of my best friends from high school, Jason Spinharney, he's from Nebraska. He was a big Nebraska fan. I used to enjoy after Christmas break rubbing it in his face because Miami had always beat Nebraska or Florida State would. But he was the one that was like telling me, like when I first started to kind of get recruited, and like I said, my recruiting process was after I destroyed Lane Kiffin and them. So it wasn't all year. It wasn't all junior year. It wasn't like that. He was just Nebraska. Now, I think what is it? Is it when you change your name? Are you a Catholic priest? Is that what it is?
Oh, like when you become Pope. Yeah.
Or
you get
not
the
Pope,
special
but
name.
Yeah, he's father something else now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. I thought it was just the Pope.
His name is not Jason no more. Okay. Text line, get me right. I'm assuming he's Catholic.
Catholics, man.
Yeah. No, he's cool with me.
That was a Nick Sainer joke mostly.
Yeah, now Nick Pius the 10th, I don't know. I don't know about Pius the 10th, man. I ain't never met anybody I could trust with Pius the 10th. Have you?
Can't say I have.
I think Nick clouds judgment. He just clouds it.
Tough.
Yeah, it's tough. We gotta go over there and shake it up over there. No, anyways. So, but what I say for Jason, when I tell you he looked like a Nebraskan, tall, he was about 6'2". He might have been 140. Might have been 140.
Soaking wet.
White as all get out, hair red as this. Cool as heck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. But I remember one time Nebraska lost to Miami and I ran over his house. He's like, I don't even want to hear it. Because I was like, hey, let's hang out. He's like, no, I don't want to hang out. I went over there anyways. But anyways, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to dive into, not dive into the stuff that we don't need to. We're going to just talk about I guess I'll talk about my experience of having a coach resign. We'll talk about Evan Cooper resigning, what he brought to or at least what I assume and heard that he brought to the program and the staff. and then what my man Coach Butler brings. I had to call some people, Austin.
Both of your adopted hometowns.
Oh, yeah. I had to call some people that I trust. I said, let me see. I got to know what's up with them, man. I got to see what's popping on the ones and twos on them. So we're going to, you know, and you know what? It all came back positive. I like it, man. And so we're going to talk about what, you know, the transition process is for him and what it could be in the immediate future and in the long term. And then in the second hour, we're going to dive into, you know, who's made the biggest come up on the purchase of an NFL team. I mean, I just cannot believe the price that these dudes paid to get these franchises. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Do you have a new address or phone number? Update your info with Powerline, LES's outage reporting system. Visit les.com/powerline or call 402-475-4211 to sign up.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Second segment, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, live in effect, 1040 O Street. We're jumping into a little bit of the Husker news this weekend. Obviously, caught everybody by surprise that, Coach Evan Cooper decided to resign. But, things, obviously, we're 2 for 2 and things happening or whatever. But, I think it's, I wouldn't say it's a norm, but I think it happens. I think, right now in the hiring process and looking for jobs, it normally doesn't happen. I know that for a fact because guys, this is camp time. I think it broke July 5th or 6th, right? Give or take. Yeah. So you're getting ready for camp. I'm not never going to dive into the details or anything like that. 'Cause first of all, I don't know nor care. I'm not into the nonsense, but around it. But I think the one thing that you have to really look at, because everybody's quick. I always say this: as fast as everybody brings you in here, it will be as equally as fast when they ride you out of town,
if not faster.
Oh yeah, because I always say this: they bring you in on a parade down O Street from 84th all the way down to the Haymarket.
Mm-hmm.
You know how fast they take you to Dunking Aviation, get you one-way ticket the heck up out of here when they turn over, and that's the day and age of college sports, whether it's coaches or players. They come and go. There's not a lot of loyalty and because everybody's looking for the next great opportunity. That's not this situation. It's too late in the game. But I will tell you this, that it seemed like, for me, from my perspective, and that's the outside looking in, and just from a former player looking at, I always look at how the coaches move and the players move along with them. That's why I always had a lot of confidence in Coach Donovan Raiola, because the players moved along with him. And he was willing to push through the rocky times. So the same thing with Evan Cooper. It seemed like from the very beginning, he was able to develop some, relationships with and find, and be open-minded with Isaac Gifford.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And say, you know what, I'm going to really accentuate what you do well. And Isaac wasn't all in at the beginning. He said it. Now I'm only going off what he said. Isaac said. And then along with the help with Isaac and I'm sure Coach Rule, they found, like, I guess, in their version of diamond in the rough. And then look, you're able to come in and somehow get the potential out of Deshaun Singleton, Omar last year. And obviously he's in the off trying to make the NFL teams. And then obviously got, Tommy Hill getting going. So to come in as a young coach, to be able to coach corners, safeties, nickels, and I'll call Isaac a hybrid. Obviously he has a good handle on multitasking, right? It goes without saying that it seems like he was a really good recruiter as well. Obviously younger coach, personality, fit in well, had a long history with Matt Rule.
Dove into the track times and everything, find those under the radar prospects.
Right. Yeah. And could see, what you want to, as a coach, people always talk about recruiting. And they always think like you just walk up to somebody, hey, we can give you 55 jumpsuits, $100,000, and you're supposed to come. They get that everywhere within reason. You have to be able to connect with players to get them to come. They have to be able to trust you in a certain percentage. So he's able to do that. But then also you talk about evaluation. To find somebody and really have an honest evaluation and see the good in a player, see the potential in a player. And I'm only speaking from it, whereas maybe in previous staffs, they might have not recruited a Jay Foreman, me coming out of high school, because, I didn't run track. I didn't lift weights. I was just a football player, a basketball player playing football, or a wannabe basketball player playing football. I was just an athlete, wasn't real refined. If you saw me, at size 14 feet, knock kneed a little bit, ain't lift. I did not look like I left. So I might not, if you have a coach or a coaching staff that's able to see something like that, you lose almost two coaches or two types of coaches, because you see somebody that can recruit the guys that are known, and then you lose the other part, that there's not a lot of coaches that go and say, you know what, I see this guy potentially could be this. I can get this out of him, and I'm willing to wait for it to pop. So it's a big loss, not only to the staff but the players, continuity. But I will tell you, I'm not going to say whether it's not, but it seemed like obviously Coach Rule was well prepared for it, or obviously had somebody in mind. That's the way it usually works. I mean, that's the way that's the way it usually works. But this worked extremely fast.
It was within like 13 hours that we heard the name John Butler after we got the Evan Cooper news.
Yeah. So so I don't know when this was, kind of moving, down the pipe, but to be able to, and also it's good timing, because John Butler wasn't working. So that's where people was like, oh, it's so quick, and it had to be in the works. Not necessarily. I mean, obviously John Butler worked at Penn State or coached at Penn State before. Matt Rule always has a connection with Penn State, so they all know each. All these coaches know each other, right? And especially when he was coaching in college, they all kind of they're at the same, AFCA convention, coaches convention, and all that. They know they break bread together, so they knew of each other. And obviously, every good coach keeps a long Rolodex of potential guys that he either knows or he knows people that know somebody. That's the way it's all a referral business, right? One-on-one or secondary referral. And I think the rapid pace of the new guy is because he wasn't working. It's different if you wanted Jay Foreman and, say me and Rule had a prior history, or me and Tony White, and say I'm presently at even somewhere like Northern Illinois. Say I'm at Mankato State. Say I'm at, you have to get out of that contract. You have to deal with the process of getting out of that situation. Is it the right time? Am I leaving it? You got all the versus if somebody's at home, which just because he wasn't working doesn't mean he wasn't coaching.
Right.
The one thing I know about him, and I've heard and I've been told, and I know how these type of coaches think, he was evaluating, he was scheming, even though he wasn't coaching.
Just one of those guys that can't shut that part of his brain off.
Yeah, if you're a coach, you're a coach.
Yeah.
If you don't think that he was, if you just think that he was just sitting at home, let's just say he was like me, always watching Game of Thrones and all that, and catching up on Friends or whatever the shows are, and not thinking about football, not talking to people, not probably having a, I'll call it I always used to call it when these coaches used to go around a trip around the world, the coaching world. I'm going to go see and check and see what so-and-so is doing here, there. If you don't think he was doing that, then you just aren't even thinking about football in the right frame of mind.
Well, and he's got two levels to do that at. College level a decade ago, but then a decade plus in the NFL that he can go around, travel, and see what those places are doing as well.
Yeah, and that's where where it gives you a lot of I guess excitement that he can not only bring the coaching acumen and the coaching ability, but he also brings some experience and somebody to bounce some stuff off of. Now, the college game has changed immensely since he's been here, but also a lot of the college concepts that are present now have been brought into the NFL. A lot of the new age players are in the NFL now, NIL kids and kids that'll, have, when you look at their college career, they've been at three schools and you still draft them. That's not a check or red mark anymore as far as your evaluation. So he's probably a little bit closer into, what you need to do right now than people give him credit for. But then also, I'm sure the whole staff and the whole support system and the whole recruiting department is going to get him up to speed very quickly.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, well, that's what you do. Well, look, this isn't just this is like Coach Rule talks. I don't know what his saying is, but it's like Either we're all pulling one way, or if you're pulling the opposite, you're gone.
Speaking of that, Rob Dog on YouTube asks, does Nebraska switch to Butler's 4-3 or keep the 3-3-5 when Coach White moves on to be a head coach? Skipping a lot of steps, but hypothetically, is John Butler a Tony White replacement?
I mean, that's the only thing that Coach Rule can, say. But if he comes, then you go to the 4. Excuse me. You'll go to the 4-3 if he wants to, but I heard people talking about that this morning. I said, listen, let's play defense good for the first game. Let's start there. Let's have the second game. You know what? Let's have the best camp that we can have. Let's get better at the things that we need to get better at. And this isn't minimizing. Look, Tony White was up for multiple jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are he's going to be head coach in the very near future. But let's not think this guy that's coming in, and this is nothing against him or anything else. This is just saying, let's just focus on what we can focus on, and let's let him coach the defensive backs first. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, does he have a ton of experience? Yes. Does he want to be a coordinator? Yes. Do you get this type of experience when you're hiring somebody this late in the game? Heck no. So is it set up for him to possibly be next in line? Yes. But a lot of things have to happen for that to happen. Number one, the defense has got to live up to the potential and the expectation this year, and then some.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, so they control the destiny of the adults, which is not fun. Okay, so that happens, and then there has to be the right situation for Tony White to go and be a head coach, and that easily could happen based on the first situation. And then after that, then that's up to Coach Rule if you want him to bring him in there. In the 3-3-5 and the 4-3, there's not a big difference. It's really not. It's really not. It just depends on your personnel. Because I watch Tony White. He runs a lot of 4-3 stuff. Now get on the move and stuff like that to get more speed and athletic ability out there. He's in Syracuse. The nose guard was a little bit smaller, so he kind of really one gap and got up the field. So it's kind of like more of a one gap. I call it hit it and split it. But when you got Nash in there, he can play more of a patrol the middle, so he can be more of an anchor. They don't really tilt the nose like I like in the 4-3. They shade it, so you can do a little bit. And it also depends on who you got at the second level too. Do you got thumpers? Do you got guys that can read blocks, that can play off defense linemen, that are really good at staying on their feet, or do you have to have things set up perfectly for them to make plays?
I would say too, in college football especially, you've seen a shift away from a lot of traditional 4-3 more to 4-2-5. Right? If you have the third linebacker on the field, it's probably a sideline to sideline, versatile piece that can move back to the backfield. I think there's a lot more base nickel with the spread offense. That's the number one. A lot of that's run the ball first team.
Yeah.
So
that's number one. I mean, 4-2-5 is generally what you play, and the 2 is negotiable. Mm-hmm. Look at Dallas.
Oh, right.
All their linebackers on third down were like DBs, and like Keanu Neal, who was a first round safety.
They're practically base dime.
Yeah, dime. And so this depends on who's calling it, what they like to do, Buffalo, their linebacker they picked up, I think his last name, he was number 43. They listed him at 228. My man was like 220, 218. He wasn't no thumper, but you know what he had? He had speed. They had a really good defensive lineman, and so his assignment was to get upfield and make tackles in the backfield. So it's a kind of feast or famine. Scraper says this before we go to break and get back on time. Does techniques change from college to the NFL? Somewhat, but the bases and the fundamentals don't change. That's why fundamentals are so important at an early age, even before college. Running, blocking, and tackling, and not turning the ball over doesn't matter where you're at. But some of the techniques based on the coaches, right, and who's the scheme and who's coaching it is different. I will tell you this. I played in the 3-4 with Wade Phillips and then played in the 3-4 with Dom Capers. And I'm telling you, I can't describe it. It's night and day. The difference. The schemes are different. The way they coach it, the way they want you to play the same play is different. And I will tell you this, it changes from coach to coach. Here's an example before we go to break. So, when I was in Houston, Reggie Herring coached me in my first 2 years. or first 2 years. He ends up leaving to take the defensive coordinator job, I think, at NC State. That's when they had Mario Williams and Manny Lawson. I think that's where he went. And Reggie was a lifer. He, he's bound, or maybe he went to Dallas with Wade. I know he left Houston. They brought in a linebacker coach named Tom Olivadotti, who had coached at the University of Miami and coached the New York Giants when they went to the when they had Michael Barrow and all those guys. So we were going over plays, like what we played the year before, and he changed how we were taking on. Now I'm telling you, this is the number 3 defense in the league. Right? Yeah, I led the league in tackles, and Jamie Sharper at the time might have been 3rd. All right, I mean,
tackles.
Right, so there's not much that needs to be changed, right? Like you need to be going over to the offense and changing that. But he came in and changed how we played our techniques. So to answer your question, Scraper, it kind of depends on the language that he used and what he called different things was different. So he wasn't trying to come in and take what we did and then add on to it. He was like, hey, we just blowing this whole thing up. So it changes based on who the coach is, and it took a while.
Even for pros.
For us to get it, for me to get it going. It took, and I consider myself a football junkie, a guy that was in it. I was definitely invested. And until we went up there and played up there in Detroit, I twerked, got busy on Dom and Raiola and Corey Schlesinger and all them. It was tough sledding. And so, there's going to be adjustment period. And so everybody's just got to battle through it and, be in it together. And he knows it's going to be adjustment period. He's got to earn their respect and they got to earn his respect. And then everything's got to be, pushed forward in the right direction. So we'll take a quick break, come back, either a quick segment or we'll get more into this at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. But this is Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 9th is spend $25, get 2 6-ounce sirloin fillets for free. Also, 15% off all beer, wine, and liquor. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
XL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high around 84. Tonight, mostly clear with calm conditions and a low around 62. And tomorrow, more sunshine and calm winds, with an afternoon high expected around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Summer is here, and it's time for Acres postseason planter parts sale. Save big on all in-stock John Deere planter parts. Get an automatic 10% off on your purchase, or get 15% off when you spend $5,000 or more. Buy over $10,000 and get a whopping 20% off. Visit your local Acres location today and stock up on planter parts and save thousands. Hurry, the sale ends July 31st or while supplies last. Acres, solutions for every field.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
For only $2.99 a day, LES powers life's sweetest moments and keeps all your summer treats icy cold and ready. Learn more at les.com/value.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Quick segment. Then we're going to get at the top of the hour. We'll talk a little Husker football because I think it's interesting. I want to give you some more insight on Coach Butler. I don't know much, but I know his type of coach. But we also, for the text line, we want you to text in who your NFL teams are so we can read how much they were sold for recently, and that is also the most recent, or when they were sold. Because obviously
Some of these are recent, some of these are not.
Obviously the Commanders was $6.05 billion, so it's a big come up for Mr. Daniel Snyder. But there's some out there that they were purchased for minimal. You could literally go to the ATM and buy an NFL team at that point in time. But looking, Austin, whether it's NFL or college, I think football is football, coaching is coaching. And, people, as much as people say, oh, he's coming from the NFL, can he adjust to college? Look, he wants to come here. He knows he's going to have to recruit. He knows it's going to be different.
The college game he's coming back to is not the college game that he liked.
No, but I also think the NFL game that he went to is not the NFL game that he's leaving.
True.
So it's a little bit more of a bridge now because they run NFL concepts. You got a lot of knuckleheads that come from 3 or 4 different colleges that are in the NFL. So you know what it's like with these kids in NIL. These rookies that are coming in. And the only reason it's here from Buffalo's perspective, they had Tre'Davious White, who was out for 2 years in a row. And so they've kind of had a revolving door. You had Wallace, who was a really good player. So he's had to really make something out of nothing. But what more importantly is he's had in my opinion, besides, you had you had a veteran-led group in the safety department for Buffalo, but really young corners. So for me, I feel like he has a little bit more experience than the naked eye would give him dealing with younger players. Now, he hadn't had to recruit because generally the player is drafted or, you guys come to, you get him in free agency. But I think if you're passionate about it, you have to recruit NFL players as well. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to recruit these guys in that locker room. And I will tell you this from NFL experience. If you're a coach and the players don't trust you, that means you haven't been able to recruit those players. And all the players seem like they had trust you.
Do we underrate the importance of the position coach in NFL free agency?
I think it just gets glossed over. I will tell you this. Julian Peterson, who was a linebacker from Michigan State, first-round pick, San Francisco 49ers, didn't sign back there because he said Mike Singletary's group work was too hard. It said it took years off his body. And let me tell you something, Mike Singletary's group work was hard. Every day.
For 3 hours.
It was about 45 minutes, and we ran every day. But yeah, it does. I mean, there's some coaches, that are known for it. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman and you're a free agency, you're going to go see Bill Callahan. You want to go there, he's going to get the best out of you. You're going to be on a good offensive line too. So, anyways, quick break or quick segment. Top of the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to dive into these NFL teams, man. I've been sitting on this since last week. And then we had Greg Smith on, and then we weren't able to get to it before 4th of July. So we're going to get into these NFL teams and how much they were originally sold for, or the last time they were for sale or bought. These numbers are crazy. So Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Does it seem like your clothes dryer doesn't dry like it used to? It may not be your dryer. It may be your dryer vent. When the vent becomes obstructed, it drastically reduces the efficiency of your dryer. Even worse, it can be a fire hazard. Here's the simple solution. Call Bryant. Bryant will thoroughly clean the vent and show you the before and after results. Call 467-1111. Keep your dryer operating efficiently and your home safe. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
For only $2.99 a day, LES powers life's sweetest moments and keeps all your summer treats icy cold and ready. Learn more at les.com/value.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line. Here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The birds are singing, but the
bells are ringing, not a cloud in the sky, but the Yuletide is high.
Schaefer's has a savings on 4K TVs from Sony, Samsung, and LG. And rest easy. 24 months interest-free on qualified mattress purchases. Hurry in. The first 500 customers get an exclusive gift from Santa with their purchase during Schaefer's Original
Christmas in July.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back. 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. Brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th Yankee Hill here in Lincoln. Now, we're going to get into a little bit more of Coach Butler. The one thing I was told was he's very detailed, very smart, all football. So that means no nonsense. Expected a lot of his players, works hard. And the statement that really was, I guess, cool to me was to get this. Pretty much, he said it, to get this type of coach this late in the game is like, this is the best hire you guys could have had.
That's high praise.
Yeah. And, I trust, my dude down in H-Town, so I think it's going to be good. And, I was able to go back and watch some of the interviews when he went up to Buffalo, and he was talking about, the one thing I like is that, look, he had success in Houston, had success, obviously, in college. And, Sean McDermott, is a defensive back coach by trade. Very good defensive mind. That's how he was able to get a head coaching job. And he said that he was excited to go up there and learn. Now, this is when he first got to Buffalo, learn some, new, coaching techniques and coverages, and learn how he's like, I want to dive into how they do things. So that lets me know that when he comes here, he wants to dive into how Tony White and the defensive staff, does things. So I think as far as on the surface, I think it's, the best thing you could think of. And then I think, he'll do well. And so only time will tell. So, now I don't know if it's official or yet or not, but it seems like a foregone conclusion. So, I want to welcome him with open arms.
If there's this much smoke, you've got to think there's fire, that it's happening, maybe just working out the final details. But compare and contrast this year, Evan Cooper resigning and hiring presumably John Butler, to last year with Bob Wager and everything that went down. You had to promote from inside, right? Similar-ish time frame.
Yeah,
but
very. Well, Bob was like 2 days, right?
Something like that.
Yeah,
it was
2 days, 2 weeks is all the same about now.
Right.
I think it's just, like I said, you could promote within because you had an assistant tight end coach, right? That had coached, I think, at SMU. And Marcus Satterfield was exclusively just the offensive coordinator. I think he worked with quarterbacks as well. And then you reshuffled it, so it's not apples to apples, but also I think it helps that, he wasn't presently employed, and you had a couple weeks.
Did you like that he stepped away because he wants to run his own defense?
I mean, sometimes you got to stand on business. They brought in Babbitt there, and you definitely want to, stand up for what you believe in, which is his coaching ability and his ability that he felt like, I'm assuming, like I said, that, he, felt like he was more than qualified for the job. So no, I don't think it's a negative. That's just, coaches do that all the time. Leslie Frazier left.
True.
And he could have came back. So, it happens all the time.
Who's got a bigger year ahead of them, McDermott or Dable?
Dable. He's hard to work with, too. That's facts. The Giants were horrible. And, You could say McDermott, but if he doesn't have success this year, you lost Stephon Diggs, both your safeties. You lost Gabe Davis. You have the built-in excuse, and you just won, AFC East 4 years in a row. Dable, you paid Daniel Jones $40 million. We seen you in your Hard Knocks. You gave that dude $40 million. Now you want to see what Danny Dimes can do.
You're not paying him $40 million to hand off.
You ran off Wink Martindale, who's a defensive mind. The pressure's on you, Jack. So yeah, he's under a lot of pressure.
Is Dable a guy you see getting another shot at head coach, or is he going to be one of those guys that got his chance and he's just going to be a career coordinator?
I think he'll get another chance. I mean, look, Eric Mangini was a head coach of the Jets.
True.
And got fired on Sunday and was a head coach of the Cleveland Browns on Tuesday. This dude going to get another chance somehow, some way. Somebody's going to hire him again.
There's a deep cut.
Yeah. And then he sold out his boy Bill Belichick. And then he was on now I think he's on like Fox with Nick Wright and stuff. So anyways, we alluded to some of these teams that how much they were originally sold for, or the last time they were sold, what the price tag was. So we got Retro and South Lake, and he wants to know the Chargers, not the San Diego Chargers. Now we're talking, right? Or they were the San Diego Chargers in 1984. Many moons ago, they were bought or sold, whatever you want to look at, for $70 million. $70 million. Now they're in LA, worth a couple billion.
70 mil is almost 1 year, but essentially a year of Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
A year and change.
Yeah. And listen, the Spano family is known to have been cheap. They should not be cheap now because the values went up, but $70 million. Now, Austin, unknown texter 3022 or 3020 wants to know about these Colts.
How about them?
Listen to this. This is awesome. This is pretty. I mean, look, this type of money back then was a lot of money. Nowhere near to what you would pay for the team right now, as far as the inflation and stuff like that. Indianapolis Colts in 1972, the last time they were sold, $15 million.
That would have been older Irsay.
Yeah.
Buying them for $15 million.
$15 million.
Dang. That's it. That makes me feel like I could do it back in the day.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Wow. I'm going to guess the Colts valuation hasn't gone up as much as the Chargers.
No. But I think the LA really accelerated that too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, moving from Baltimore to Indy, probably a downgraded market.
Yeah. And the way they moved too.
All that. Yeah. Only one Super Bowl to show for it.
And the Mayflower showing up. Where are you guys going? Oh, we're just taking a ride down the street.
We'll be back.
We'll be right back. Let's see. JP asked about the New York Jets. Now, this is what I really want to ask you, because the team next to the Jets is the Houston Texans. Were in 1999. My man Bob McNair. I'm gonna tell you a crazy story about him. $700 million. Well, the New York Jets were $635 million.
Whew.
That was Woody Johnson, right?
Would have been Woody. Mm-hmm.
Do you think he got a good deal? It's a New York team. It's the Jets. I think the Giants are probably more prestigious.
Oh, by far.
So I think he might. You think he overpaid for him?
Crappy
facilities, or at least were at that time.
You overpaid for the football product, but you probably got a bargain in that it's a New York sports franchise, and it's kind of hard to lose money on those. So no matter what you pay for it, you're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Houston, even to some degree as well. I mean, I don't know what Houston was like in 99, but Houston's booming now.
Yeah.
Like, Houston's huge.
Popping.
So even $700 million probably felt like an overpay for the Texans at that time, given what they were. But now, kind of looks like a bargain given the way Houston's grown.
Yeah. I feel like the city of Houston probably should have, petitioned the NFL to be a little bit less, because the way that the Oilers left to go to Tennessee.
True.
You had that get back.
True. Speaking of Tennessee, $25,000.
Oh, I know. We weren't going to get it. The next team, Big Slim asked about Tampa Bay Bucks. Let's see where they at. in 1995. So that was my second year in college. $192 million. Was that the Glazer family?
Yeah. So?
Glazer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. That's still cheap.
Even for Tampa.
But listen to this. I mean, look at Tampa, $192 million. 4 years later, Houston, $700 million. You talking about getting hit over the head? We're an expansion team too.
How about this for Tampa? So I'm looking up their history. Ralph Wilson courted interest in Tampa Bay, who approached him about moving the Bills to Tampa. He was frustrated by his inability to gain a new stadium for his franchise. He considered Memphis, Tennessee, and Seattle as possible sites to move the Buffalo Bills.
Dang, Ralph.
But he didn't do it. He thought about it.
Yeah, he stood on business. But still, now here's what's amazing.
Don't tell me you wouldn't rather have played in any of those cities rather than Buffalo. I know you love Buffalo now. But you get drafted by the Bills. Memphis, Seattle, and Tampa.
I ain't doing nothing in Memphis.
Okay, so Buffalo's
I ain't
third
never
on the
going to
list.
Memphis. If you're from Memphis, no disrespect. I ain't never going to Memphis. Never.
Not on your own power, not willingly?
No way. No way. Not even thinking. Don't even think about it. I'll stay in the airport. I ain't going to Memphis, man. I watch too many First 48s. I ain't going to Memphis. They get down and dirty in Memphis. They had Lorenzen White. They killed him, put him in the
He's
woods.
one of theirs.
Yeah, no way. Not going to Memphis.
Okay, Seattle and Tampa then.
Yeah, I'd be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it better, but obviously, but I like Buffalo though. Now, if you're asking me now, Buffalo.
Right.
Seattle second. Tampa's kind of bootleg. But here we go, you Chicago Bears fans. I mean, this is amazing, and I don't care when the times were. The Chicago Bears in 1920. So how many years ago is that? Is that 100 years ago?
Be 104 years ago now.
Yeah, 104 years ago. Were purchased for $100. $100.
Chris Ben Franklin.
$100.
Not 100,000, not 100 million.
Man, that's not even
$100.
Let's go even further. We just talked about the New York franchise, New York Football Giants, a blue blood, well thought of in 1925. So 5 years after Chicago Bears were purchased for $100. The New York Giants were purchased for $500. $500.
Okay, so $100 in 1920 would be like buying the Bears for $1,570.35 today.
You coming up like the mob right now.
Okay, you said the Giants in 1925? In today's, that would be $8,973.40.
That's crazy.
For an NFL franchise. Two historic NFL franchises.
And this is even better, right? There's four of them that really came up like the mob. Green Bay is not available. They just say established because I think they just
the stockholders
and stuff like that.
Whatever,
you can, you got a penny, you could be a stockholder.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Fighting Aaron Davises, okay, in 1933. So just 8 years after the Giants were purchased for $500, the Rooney family, I don't know which one it was, purchased the Pittsburgh Steelers for $2,500.
$60,400 today.
Doug, I don't understand it. We should all be owning NFL franchises right now.
Owning a sports team is the easiest way to make money.
Now, here we go for you Chiefs fans. We know we got a ton of Chiefs fans. Are you listening? Are you listening, Chiefs fans? In 1960, so that's like right when Hank Stram was matriculating down there and doing all that, right? Mm-hmm. In 1960, the Chiefs were purchased for $25,000. $25,000. Now, here's where things get funky.
Wait, okay. So, Mahomes is making what? $45 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 450, 1, 2, 123 divided by 25,000. But in today's dollars, it would be 265,000.
Right.
So divided by 265,000. That is 1,700th of Patrick Mahomes' annual salary.
$25,000.
Yeah.
The next one is it says Tennessee Titans, but I think those are Houston Oilers.
Yeah,
right.
would have been at that point.
1959. So a year before the Chiefs, $25,000. $25,000. We're not going to say anything about the Cardinals. All right. We're just going to skip over the Cardinals because they got
They're probably worth that now, too.
Just because they got the pocket Hercules. We're going to go to the Raiders. With the Al Davis and family. In 1966, he came in and changed pro football from a prestige standpoint. $180,000. So, Austin, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 8 teams that realistically, there's a lot of people that could purchase those teams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like
before you even make a major jump into millions.
Well, and even some of these millions were around the same time as the Raiders.
Right.
Which tells you everything you need to know about the Raiders at that point in time. Not good. Poverty franchise. Or Al Davis got a heck of a steal.
Well, they say Al Davis don't pay his bills, though. That's why Mike Shannon.
Is that
that's why Denver used to always run the score up on him.
Yeah.
He's like Al Davis still. He said he still owed me $700,000.
Yeah.
And then here we go for you. The Detroit Lions, the Fighting Nick Sanders, in 1964, $5 million. The Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, with the Brown family, 1967, $8 million.
Are you surprised the Brown family actually spent $8 million? Seems like spending hasn't been their MO.
I am. I would like to see the details of that.
See what I
San
can
Fran, 1977, $13 million. Okay, let's go with Dallas Cowboys. Now, this is an interesting one.
All right, Jerry.
Because this is when Jerry Jones came in there and Tom Landry was an iconic figure, right? With the Dallas Cowboys. In the first order of business, let's get rid of the iconic coach. Jerry Jones, right, bought the Dallas Cowboys in 1989 for $140 million. $140 million.
What do you think they're valued at today?
They're $4 or $5 billion, easily.
Try doubling that. $9.2 billion.
Hitting them in the mouth.
The Giants are worth $2 billion less than the Cowboys. 7.
Robert Kraft, 1994, 5 years after, right? What was Robert Kraft? What is he, Gillette? He did Gillette and shaving cream?
That sounds right.
Yeah, because Gillette Stadium, right? Okay,
yeah.
Robert Kraft, 5 years after you saw Jerry Jones. Well, Jerry Jones, what do you have? Oil fields or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, he's Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah.
He purchased the New England Patriots for $172 million.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. I mean, I'm even thinking about when Ziggy Wolf bought the Vikings for 2005, $600 million. He got a discount.
Well,
what are the Vikings worth right now?
Kirk Cousins is making half of that.
That's true. And first of all, he made all that money. He made $200 million. What are the Vikings? What are the Vikings valued at right now?
Vikings valuation. Well, I looked that up. Rob Dog wonders about the Rams.
The Rams, $750 million in 2010
when they moved from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Okay. Vikings valued at $3.93 billion.
It's a nice investment. Kroenke. Here's the thing: what people don't understand about them LA teams, right? So you move out there, and how you get rewarded? You get a Super Bowl. You make your money back. That's the biggest come up. What was the team I was looking at right here? I talked about the Vikings.
Surprised about the Ravens at $600 million? That seems a little cheap too. I know it's a newer franchise, but
yeah, it's a little cheap, but it's a good investment.
Mm-hmm. Jaguars at 760 feels like an overpay.
They got it. They got over on Shad Khan. They ain't even they
knew we wanted to be an owner so bad.
Yeah, we're just gonna just get you the dummy tax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shad got it, man. Plus, he had the dude up in there that was working was gambling, right?
Right.
Yeah. Just running amok.
Worst deal: Jags for 760 mil or Panthers for 2.28 bill.
Oh, I'm gonna go Jags. The Tepper overpaid.
Charlotte's nicer than Jacksonville, though.
Yeah, and I was just, but Jacksonville is a dump. You ever been to Jacksonville?
I plan to never go to Jacksonville if I can help it.
But have you been?
No,
You've never been?
I have not.
Bro.
I tell you, it's not your favorite road trip of the year.
Man, I you know what I did? I remember when we flew into Jacksonville. I remember because Seth Payne had played there. I used to always sit by Seth Payne and Gary Walker, and we had our own rows. I said, man, how the hell you guys play down here? And then I went to Jacksonville to play golf. And when I tell you the downtown in Jacksonville was the worst I've ever seen in an NFL city, is hands down. I was like, I'd never want to come back here.
Like Lincoln comparable?
Oh, Lincoln's New York City. Yeah. It was dirt. Listen.
Three worst NFL downtowns.
It was dirty. It was roguish. I was like, man, there's no way I could. I was like, there's no way. This is in Jacksonville? You could like Duval County. Yeah.
Stand up.
It's roguish. Matter of fact, one of my mentors, Sam Cowart, is from there. I texted him. I said, you should never claim that you from Jacksonville.
What's the next town over? Say that instead.
Let me see. I don't know where the next place is, but I'll tell you what, Detroit.
Stay at the airport city again.
I ain't kicking it in Detroit, man. Chris Claiborne's dad got jammed up at All-Star Cafe. So I ain't no way. I ain't doing
Close
that.
to home, though.
Detroit, stand up. It was straight. No, I ain't messing with Detroit.
Green Bay.
It's not bad. It's like Buffalo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean it's all right. But the bars in Buffalo stay open to 6 though.
True.
Yeah, so that gives you advantage. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. I'm gonna tell you the story about Bob McNair. When I got down there and I re-signed and stuff, and he was just he was telling me how he bought the team, and he just nonchalantly just told me this story. I looked at him and I said, "Man, I need some new friends. I need some new friends." Anyways, take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do you have a new address or phone number? Update your info with Powerline, LES's outage reporting system. Visit les.com/powerline or call 402-475-4211 to sign up.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high around 84. Tonight, mostly clear with calm conditions and a low around 62. And tomorrow, more sunshine and calm winds with an afternoon high expected around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Click for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11. Located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 9th is spend $25, get 2 6-ounce sirloin fillets for free. Also, 15% off all beer, wine, and liquor. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Does it seem like your clothes dryer doesn't dry like it used to? It may not be your dryer. It may be your dryer vent. When the vent becomes obstructed, it drastically reduces the efficiency of your dryer. Even worse, it can be a fire hazard. Here's the simple solution. Call Bryant. Bryant will thoroughly clean the vent and show you the before and after results. Call 467-1111. Keep your dryer operating efficiently and your home safe. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Keep summer green with Judson Bylene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second segment, 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school. We dived into NFL ownership, man, and obviously it wasn't a big deal to own an NFL team. It was kind of like you probably would look down upon it back when you were purchasing teams for $100 or $500. But I was fortunate enough to know Bob McNair. I know when he got a little older and said some stuff and got sick, obviously I think it changed him a little bit, but I wouldn't fashion myself as being friends with him, but obviously definitely more than cordial. Even when I wasn't a Houston Texan, he definitely was there for when I reached out. But I remember just he had a golf tournament at River Oaks, and so the players would go play, and it probably had people like minority owners or whatever. So and then I end up re-signing him at his house, and it's funny when you pull up to his house though, Austin. I don't want to say it was like Get Out, but he definitely has some like maids and stuff. Like people open your door in white gloves. I was like, what the heck is I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like long driveway. You know what I mean? You just River Oaks, you take a right, you just drive it for like a half a mile in the city. Anyways, we get in there and he's got me back in his like den or whatever. I don't know, his office, man. This thing was huge, just wood everywhere. It was great. He had a big old pool or whatever. So I was like, man, because I think what the conversation started because somehow we started talking about the Kentucky Derby. And he loves horses. He had a horse in the Kentucky Derby. And he had a place back in Kentucky. And I was like, dang, I'm thinking like Houston's nice. The weather's good, taxes and stuff. He's like, yeah, I go back there. I spent a lot of time back in Kentucky. No, Austin, he flies.
His horse got second in 94.
Yeah. He's big into it. Hey, in Austin, I forgot that he flies private. So he can get back to Kentucky a lot faster than I could, right? Well, anyway, so he's talking to me about that. And then I was like, well, I knew he had, he had NRG, the Energy and Duke. I think it was Duke Energy, whatever it was, or Reliant Energy, excuse me. So I knew that he had that, but so I was like, oh, well, what did you do? I said, what made you buy an NFL team? So he went into the, city of Houston, this, and this. And so, and I was like, I think I asked him, like, how'd you get all that money to do that? Right. And he's like talking about it. He was like, look, he's like, I was broke. I was like, you were broke? Like, dude, you don't get broke. You don't go from broke to buying a team for $700 million like that quick.
Unless.
Here's his idea, broke. He's like, I was down to my last $5 million. Okay. This dude's telling me this, Austin. And I got like a vodka cranberry, and he's got a whatever. He had like some thing they brought out, cognac or something. I'm not to make sure I'm trying to sign my contract and not get hammered. I ain't trying to mess it up, right?
Knocking down to your last $5 million.
I ain't trying to fumble the bag, right? He's like, I was broke. I was down to my last $5 million. And I think his first energy company must have not done well. It must have been like around the time of Enron or the downturn or whatever it was, right? He's like, so I wanted to build my energy company back up or, buy one or do whatever. He's like, so I called, what do you say? I called 20 of my closest friends. Now, he got some nice friends and borrowed $1 million from each of them. Austin. I ain't got them type of friends, right? I can't even get $10 out of my whatchamacallit, right? And then he got that, built up Reliant Energy, paid everybody back, on and popping. And he was back in business and better than ever.
And standing on it.
And he was standing on it like a champion. And then he was doing his horses, and then he said he had like a kind of a off like Reliant Energy back in so he was boss balling.
After being down to his last $5 million.
But when he told me that, hey, Austin, when he told me that, I said, man, I should pimp slap your old self, man. I'm up here. You had me negotiate with Charlie Casserly, seems like for 5 months to try to get, what I thought I deserved.
$50,000.
Yeah. I want a workout bonus. You trying to not give me X amount, I want the going rate everybody's getting. You try to give me a little less. You talking about you down to your last $5 million, bro. And I'm sure it was more detailed than that, right? I'm sure there was more, more into it than that.
But when you say the words, I was broke, I was down to my last $5 million.
I'm thinking like, man, he like Enron.
Like close to chapter 11 filing or something.
Yeah, something. Like he was broke or just like, just down on his luck, couldn't keep a job or something. It was down to $5 million, dog. He's like, you living bad. Just imagine calling your boy. I don't know who your best friend. Imagine me calling Jamal like, yeah, dog, it's rough down here in Lincoln. I'm down my last 10 mil. I don't know what to do with myself. Can I borrow $1 million? Can a brother get a pimp? No, just playing.
Did Cal have that same sort of deal?
Cal's his son.
Yeah.
He in lucky.
Cal hasn't gotten down to his last 5 mil though.
No,
Cal's fine.
Cal's good. Cal's a good dude. Cal was cool, man. He's always been cool. I just call him Cool Cal. So there used to be a rapper, I think his name was Cool Cal or something like that. That's what I used to call him, Cool Cal. So Dom used to always like, look, we'll get into two-a-days. So here's his idea of getting us ready for the season. Now, mind you, we're professional athletes. We're football players, highly trained, in great shape. He said, listen, we're going to take advantage of the Houston Heat teams, so we got to be in better shape. So we're going to practice at 7 a.m, and that's when the humidity was out of control. And he's like, then we're going to practice at night in fan experience. He's like, our one practice the next day, instead of doing it in the morning, have a walkthrough, or God forbid in the like little indoor facility or dome. He's like, we're going to practice outside. He studied it where like the heat index is the highest. So 2 or 3. So we're supposed to be in like Junction Boys. Right? So this was supposed to be our advantage.
And you can't say no.
Yeah, no, we were dumb enough thinking it was gonna work. Yeah, I was like, man, I remember we had an outside linebacker named Jeff Posey. And he's like, let's go to Outback because we made it. Because Jeff, he played at Southern Miss, he country. And just he's got to be a preacher or nothing, because that's all he would. He'd be getting tired. He started reciting Bible verses and stuff. He was great. I love Jeff Posey. So, so we get through there, and so Cal would come to practice, right? And when Don would have those practices in the height of the afternoon, Cal would be under the misters more than we would. Kicking it. He's like, hey, he said, listen,
it's hot out here.
Yeah, he was like, if I was owner of run this wouldn't be happening. I was like, well, you need to take over. Bob was still alive, but man, it was crazy, man. It was Cal was a good dude, man, or is a good dude. Great. I mean, he's obviously doing well as owner and taking the bull by the horns. He's very involved, as far as football and rehabbing. There's a little bit of a shaky times with like Bill O'Brien there when Rick Smith's wife got diagnosed with cancer. Bill O'Brien was the GM, and it got kind of funky, as far as the lines between head coach, GM, and obviously the whole thing with DeAndre Hopkins, and then the stuff with hiring a coach was David Culley, and then Lovie Smith, and then Lovie helped us get a coach, and you know what? Now you're going to be the coach. He's kind of worked through that, so he's I like him as an owner. He's great, and they do stuff for the alumni as well.
If only that 2 or 3 in the afternoon practice would have helped the offensive line keep David Carr upright.
Well, here's the deal. That sounded great. So we're thinking like, yeah, we got an advantage. Right? We got an advantage. Well, we played Dallas. Dome closed. Retractable thing closed. Right? Night game. Okay, that's fine. But why? It's not raining. Right? It's not raining. There was no rain in sight. No hurricanes, no nothing. Dome closed. It's extra hot, dry air, humid in there. It's horrible in there because there's no airflow. All right, that's fine. Man, with that thing, anytime it was hot, it was closed. You want to know why it was closed?
Fan experience.
The fan experience. So all that stuff we did during 2-a-days, all those extra gases we ran, yes, all those like live kickoff drills that I watched people do, all those practices that we had at the highest index, the high practices at 7 a.m., the extra high practices at night was for nothing. Nothing.
I'm sure that made you so happy to go out and do it again next year.
Nothing. Well, we did it every year I was there. And then the thing is, I remember we played one team. I forget who we played, and they were kind of wearing down. Well, then like the shade, we played in the afternoon, so then the shade shifted. We was in the sun.
There's your advantage.
We were you're
built for it.
I'm telling you, we were just bootleg. I always say that the best thing that we did was play defense, and whoever like the GM and them made sure we had enough papers and pencils and all that stuff to take notes. We couldn't score. We couldn't even practice right because we decided that we want to be outside. Then we had an indoor facility, and it's so humid in there. We didn't practice enough that the sweat and stuff kind of just got so nasty. We had like a staph outbreak. It was just like, so I was in there in a sweatshirt. Listen, when I saw
Sweatshirt, sweatpants, socks,
fully, hey, if I could have had a mask, I'm not catching staph. I'm not getting that. I saw a dude had a gauze pad in his pec. I said, listen, man, I can't do that. Yeah, so Houston was an experience, man. It was wild, man. I mean, it was great. It was a great stadium, great fans. But I remember being mad as heck when that thing would be closed because of all the stuff that we did based on thought we were going to have the advantage.
T.O. would never close the dome.
Oh no, T.O. would no fans. You're just going to be hot or something. Yeah, it would. But yeah, NFL owners are they're very unique characters. You know, you got Bob McNair. I was able to meet Jerry Richardson, who's a former NFL player. So meeting him was like one of the guys. Meeting Ziggy Wolf when they came in, and he came in with all his brothers, you know, and all that stuff. Hey, you remember Kevin Warren?
Oh yeah,
he worked for. Yeah, I used to kick it with him. Not kick it, but he did a lot of stuff with my dad, so I'd be around. So when he was working with the Vikings. And then he became Big Ten, and now he's with the Bears. Ralph Wilson was great.
Even though he tried to move him to Tampa or Memphis or Seattle.
I didn't know that till today. But the thing about Ralph Wilson is, so my locker was in between Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith. It was Thurman, his second locker, mine, Bruce second locker, Bruce. So when they would talk, they would have conversations and be like, man, get out the way. So I'm telling you, I took like quick showers. I was like, I guess bird baths, because it was like, I'm out of place, right? I'm not on the same level. You don't like me yet. You know what I mean? You don't need to talk to me. We don't have anything in common. Nothing. You guys are Hall of Fame players, and I'm just trying to collect a check. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the team. So, Ralph would come in after, a game. He would conversate with Thurman, ask about the wife, kids, this, and this. For the first, let me see. So for the first 6 games, I was inactive. So he just walked right past me. Maybe even 8 games or something. Maybe like that. He walked right past me. He went right, he would either walk around me or walk right in front of me. Like, I do. You listen. You ain't did. You just. I don't even know why I'm paying you. I was like, I used to just leave. So when I'd see him making the round, he talked to Ted and all them. When he started getting down there, I just get up and leave, go take another shower, and then he would conversate with Bruce. Same thing, Andre, those dudes. So then finally, I'll never forget. I think we played the Dolphins, and I was playing special teams, and I made a couple special teams tackles, and or whatever, and then technically, it was a caused fumble. I tackled him, swiped it, and went out of bounds. We had no chance of getting it because he was literally 1 foot out of it. But technically, it was that. So you get your name called or whatever. And Ralph, I'll never forget this, man. And I'll never forget Ralph because he was older. He had his glasses, and he had a brown, kind of trench coat. That's what he always wore, when it got cold. It's thicker, but whatever. He came and looked at me. And I knew he wanted to shake my hand. I thought he was going to shake my hand, right? Because I thought he was going to say, good game. And he didn't. He kept it. Also, I can't even say this, man. I felt like this big. So I go to shake his hand. Hands in the pocket. Hey, Austin. Hey. So I'm about to say, I thought I'm going to get some love. And he looks at me, looks up, and he just shakes his head, it moves. But I'm left here. Right? Dang. I said, all right, I'm going to show his little butt. You know what I'm saying? And so, I started to do well. And then finally, he came up and he was like, good game. Good, you've been playing well. I've been hearing a lot of good things about you. And I was like, all right. But I'm going to tell you another thing about Ralph Wilson. So, I was in the college mode when they came out and said, you going to the Christmas party? I'm like, I ain't going to the Christmas party. Big Bang Hank, who has come, Henry Jones. Big shout out to his daughter, though. Made the Olympics. 400. USC runner, made the Olympics. Big shout out to her. He's like, boy, you better go. Because they're taking notice whether you'll be there. So I go. When I tell you your boy Ralph Wilson can dance, he can dance, dude.
Ralph?
Yeah, well, back then, yeah. This is before he got obviously older. So you're out there and, the rookies are together. We didn't have any, we couldn't afford to bring it. It's kind of late notice or whatever because you just making sure you're still on the roster. So we're just there when food's good and everybody's kind of letting loose a little bit. It's a Christmas party or whatever. And Ralph was out there, man. He was out there getting down for about 3 or 4 songs. That's okay, Ralph. But then after that, he gave me love, though. He talked to me after that. But he left me on read.
In person.
I stood up too. And I'm going to tell you this. I stood up. I shouldn't even say this.
Let's go to break, give you a chance to think about it if you want to say it.
Because I don't even want people have the pictures of me when I stood up and what I had on. And then he left. That makes it worse. Okay, we're going to go break. Tell you when I come back, I'll tell you. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The birds are singing, but the bells are ringing. Not a cloud in the sky, but the Yuletide is high.
Schaefer's has a savings on 4K TVs from Sony, Samsung, and LG. And rest easy. 24 months interest-free on qualified mattress purchases. Hurry in. The first 500 customers get an exclusive gift from Santa with their purchase during Schaefer's Original
Christmas in July.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Prodigy Baseball Academy, Lincoln's premier baseball program, is excited to partner with the #1 national youth and high school program to offer a larger player development program with a national network for tournaments and recruiting. Prodigy Baseball has been nominated several years by the Lincoln Choice Awards for outstanding dedication to youth baseball. Come see the USA Prime Prodigy difference. For a full listing of tryouts and to learn more about USA Prime Prodigy, check them out on Facebook at Lincoln Prodigy Baseball or at LincolnProdigyBaseball.com. USA Prime Prodigy is excited to announce the tryouts for the upcoming season. Prodigy Baseball is where players in Lincoln go to receive player development, a competitive tournament schedule, and incredible family atmosphere. USA Prime Prodigy will be hosting tryouts July 14th through the 16th at 6 p.m. at Optimus Sports Complex for ages 7 to 14. Jalen Wordley, Caleb Clark, and Mason McConaughey from Husker Baseball will be there to sign autographs and talk to the youth. Tryouts start on July 14th at 6 p.m. Learn more at LincolnProductBaseball.com.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Facing the court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we believe in treating every person with respect, compassion, and understanding. When legal troubles are keeping you up, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. To learn more, call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, real quick segment before we turn it over at 6 o'clock. But to add on to the Ralph Wilson story, Austin, we'll do a quick little recap. Was, he didn't know my name or talk to me until I started really making plays. But in particular, one game, I made a couple tackles, and it was one of the first games I was active. That means I was actually actively playing. And so normally when I was inactive or when I was inactive, I wouldn't sit at my locker just because I didn't have to take a shower or anything because you're just in street clothes. Well, anyways, in this game, obviously, I played and, I think I might have got a couple plays in on defense because we were winning. And so Ralph's he's coming down to, as he would, as a great owner, as he should go in there and talk to your players and talks to Thurman. So I was like, all right, I got to make sure, he's there. So I had a routine how I got dressed. I had a routine where I got undressed as far as, getting out of my uniform. So I'd taken off my pads, obviously, and I used to wear this. So I don't know if I have the picture or posted the picture, but I used to wear, I was a big Steve Austin, the WWF, WWE wrestler. I used to wear Austin 316 cutoff shirt, cut out the sleeves and it'd just be there, So I had that on. And so I, cut my tape off and was just chilling at my locker a little bit. And I'd taken my pads out of my pants and kind of gave it to the equipment guy to, do the laundry or whatever. So I'm sitting at my locker, eventually about to get it, go take a shower. But I got a towel over my, legs or whatever. So here comes Ralph. I think he's going to talk to me, right? So I stand up, right? Go to shake his hand. He leaves me on read. Here's the problem. I got my Austin 316 shirt on, cut off t-shirt. And back then we wore jock straps. So the towel went down. I'm standing there in my jock, hand extended to shake the owner's hand. He leaves me on read. And that's the image. That's how embarrassing it was. Standing there left on read. Because when you stood up, because when he comes, because he kind of came this was an empty chair. So he came right here, So I'm kind of where it is. So I stood up, boom, on read. Jay Foreman in his jock.
Did you try to sell it going into a
No,
salute or anything?
no.
Just you take it.
He just looked at me and he looked at my nameplate, looked at me, shook his head, all right, and kept it moving. I sat down and literally, Austin, I was so embarrassed. I put my towel back over my waist that I just sat there for a little while and just took you just made a fool of yourself. So anyway,
did you ever see him do that to anyone else as you were around in Buffalo for a few years?
He didn't talk like until you like when you were a rookie. I mean, it wasn't like when you were a rookie. Well, he talked to Antoine Whitfield. They were playing, but when you were like a rookie or those guys that you were kind of, I mean, he's probably seen some. He just checking you out. See, he's checking your temperature, see where you're at. He ain't gonna show you no love. You ain't did nothing yet. I mean, Austin, I only been active for like a game or two.
But dang, you saw your hand out there and still said,
Nah, you ain't there yet, player. You ain't there. You ain't. Hey, let me know. But I tell you after, hey, the next time after I was balling, oh yeah, we dapped up. He gave me some love, but he left me on read. Anyways, we didn't leave you guys on read. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. This is Old School. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We're signing off. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 9th is spend $25, get 2 6-ounce sirloin fillets for free. Also, 15% off all beer, wine, and liquor. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through July 14th, enjoy USDA Choice 6-ounce bacon wrap tenderloin for $8.99. Fairway's 16-ounce packs of hickory smoked bacon for $3.99 per pack with a limit of 4, fresh salmon for $9.88 per pound, and 24 packs of Michelob Ultra for just $16.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is